It's Sue from Createful Journals, and this is the September 22 monthly inspiration video training, and we're going to do the Fall is in the Air template from this month's pack. So as you'll see, the pack has got three different slides in here, layouts. So we've got things to do this fall, sightseeing trips, the fairs and events. And then just like a daily journal page, what I love most about fall, things I see, things I hear, when I smell, when I touch, when I taste. And then we've got a yard work planner so that you can, easily turn this into all kinds of different things. And just remember too that you want to remember that there's different holidays and the seasons are a little bit different. So in Europe in September, we have harvest festival days, which are similar to like a fall fair, so you can cater to that market too with just the slant on harvest festival themes. And then you've got fall fairs, and then in October we've got the Canadian Thanksgiving, and in November you have the US Thanksgiving. So there's lots of different seasons and holidays that you can come up with. Not just like Thanksgiving and just like plain fall. In Europe they call fall autumn, so some people, when you say fall in Europe, they think you mean that you've fallen over or something. So it's a different concept to take on the words. You want to make sure that we can, if you're on Etsy, let's publish some fall planners, but let's also publish some autumn planners so that you can target the most. And then if you're doing the autumn ones, I would go to the A4 sizes because that's what's more familiar with for people in the UK and in Europe. Right, so let's just see how we can start to create other templates with this. So like I said, as I normally like to do, just like to come to the selection pane so we can come and see all these different layers here. Now you'll see if you're using the updated version of PowerPoint, or if you have the monthly subscription, you'll see now that you've got this little lockbox, which is really useful because now if you want to, you can actually lock something in place. Once it's locked, you're not going to be able to move that particular thing. So that's really helpful when you're trying to move things around but you want something to stay in place. So just keep that in mind as well. If you don't see that yet, just see if your PowerPoint version needs an update or something. It might be there for you. So one of the first things that we can do here is, again, if we go to hide all, then we just scroll to the bottom and work backwards. And then we can just see, so this is a background here. And then you've got a background, and then we'll come up to everything up here. And then you can, so now you can see we've got the flags up here. And undo this group. Now you've got the borders here. So there's several things that you could do right here. So we could just click on this, the shape format here. And if we right click, we can just save this as a picture. And I've done a couple of these. I put them in the pack. So we'll just name this flags. Oops. And now we've got, if I go into my download folder here, you'll see now that we've got the flags. So we could use this as an individual element on any of the pages. And you'll see the same thing in the pack. I did the same with the banner here. So we can save it as a picture, and then you can just import it again as a picture and move it around. Right now I'm just going to copy this. So something that we could do right away is just create a new slide, and we can just put these as a border. So you can do this, then duplicate it and move it over just a little bit, and then come to the picture format and rotate it, and let's just flip it. Oops, it didn't. Okay, this came apart here. Just make sure we group it back together. And then we can just, again, let's just try that again. Copy, paste. There we go. And then we can rotate it. So we can just flip it, and now you can have the page borders. So you can do the page borders, this one. And again, you can make the smaller one if you want to have for the header. So again, we can just rotate it ourselves or just use the rotation feature. And then you could put, a header up here as well, or just delete that. And I would do some pages right here, just have this right to the margins. And then, so we could create lots of different pages just with the different borders. So let's just duplicate this, and then we will rotate it. This time I want to rotate it to the top, and then I'm going to make it smaller so we can have like a header and footer type of thing. And then we just put that up the top. And this one too, want to rotate it, bring it back down. So you can create all kinds of different pages with just this one border alone. And just position it where you want to. So you could have the plain border in here. We can come back up to the top here and see what else we can undo here. So we've got more pictures. You've got the table here. So again, if you wanted to just copy a table, put it on a new page, name it as something else, maybe you want to, you know, if you have kids, you could track the different kind of leaves. How many maple leaves did we find? How many oak leaves? Even like pine cones, different sizes of pine cones. So you could have like a log of what we found that pertains to the fall. And we just, so I just come in each time and then there's another table in here. And then you've got the last one again is the bottom border there. So you can see we've got everything here too. And then if you wanted to, like I said, we could copy the flags. So we could do this here, and then we can duplicate or actually just do a new slide and then just bring in those flags that we downloaded as a picture, and then just pop that up the top. And then you could insert, you know, if you want to insert some lines, we could just make a quick journal page in here if we just did something simple. And then we're just going to turn here. Don't want any. Oops. Okay, so then you've got these here, then we can just insert below. Let's just do another 3 here, or we could just do some lines there and then just insert a box. And then we can, you know, fill it with maybe this color here. And then you've got a note box that matches. We could even just copy this here and paste it. Let's bring it down and let's decorate this box with it. So now we have some journal lines, and then we can have the note box, note page in here. So you can do all different kinds of things from that, and that's just with this one template right here. And again, if you just wanted this background, you could put the background, you know, like again, you can just save it as a JPEG and then bring it back in and use it as a background. Then we've got different page borders we can do here. And then we've created different lines here. And again, we can duplicate this page. We could change it up a little bit, make something, actually we could just make 2 columns here. So we could just, oops, go to the outside to copy it. That doesn't want copies. Okay, let's just click on the outside. Oops. Let's duplicate it. I'm going to move it over. And now we've got 2 columns in here. So you could have a 2-column page. So you can go in here and then you can create another page with dashed lines. So you can just change the line style to create more and more pages. So you can easily come up with a whole, you know, 10-page plan or more just from changing that one slide. So in this one here too, you know, we can just duplicate this. Again, you can start taking out, you know, the background. We've got the leaves here again, so you could make that into a border, the same thing. Either copy paste it, or sometimes it's just easier if you just save it as a picture and reinsert it as a picture, especially if you've been creating your own graphics. And this way nobody can actually copy that picture for you. And you could just, and then you've got the lines in the back here, so we could take all this out. And then this picture here, so you've got the lines again, so you could just make this bigger as well. And then we could change all the wording inside of the shapes here as well to make something else. Again, make one for kids. What did you find today? What leaves did you find? What animals? Did you see any squirrels? Did you see any rabbits? Like things like that. So you could turn this into like a kid's activity book. You could use these stars and just move them around and make like a path design. Yes, you could move these around and just make something like a little tracker with just the stars all over the page, and you can put an arrow to where, from step 1 to step 2, add in, maybe a picture. They could put a picture of a squirrel, the leaves that they found, things like that as well. So that's some ideas for that one. And then you've just got the weekly yard planner, so we could change this into all kinds of different, a fall cleanup planner, what you want to do each day of the week, the task, who's going to do it, any notes. So you could just change this into all different kinds of planners, even just make a daily planner and then change the headings to, the daily tasks that you need to do, and just have a fall themed planner as well. So there's some ideas that you can do with that one. So you could easily turn this into, a much longer journal as well. Going back to this one, we could just use the background. So you could use this, so we could make this bigger here, like this, and then you've got a nice background page, or you could fill it all the way to the edges if you wanted to as well. So you could use this and either copy it or just insert it, see what it looks like on top of here, and then send it to the back. So you've got it here. Then I would just play with these a little bit. Or make this one a little smaller so the edges go right under here. Okay, so it looks more, so I would just do something like that. So you'd have it in there. So now you've got a different format again, and on top of here again, we can copy those lines that we created here. So once you've created a table, I just like to copy paste everything so you don't have to keep on creating it again. And then you could make this into a journal page as well. Maybe have this as like a journal prompt or an image, or write an image on the top for inspiration, a daily quote. You could do something like that. So there's some different ideas of what you could do with this one as well. So let's just put everything back again. And I'll save this into the pack so you can kind of play with it as well. So just don't forget, I always try and do these, like save these as images, and you can use them again and create all different kinds of borders as well. And then the different lines, don't forget. So just the plain, the dotted, just change all the lines. And then even here, you could just have some plain doodle pages. You could put in some photo boxes so people could track the photos of what they saw while they're out in the fall. And again here, like the sightseeing trips, you could make another page that said, the favorite places we went this fall, which was the most favorite. Every family member could write, which one they liked best and which one they liked least. So you could create a page like that as well. Anyway, so hopefully that has given you some ideas of what to do with this, just this one template, and you've got another 4 in the pack that you can do the same things with. So you can sell them as printables. You can turn them into complete journals and planners and sell those as well. So if you have any questions, as always, just let me know. Thank you.